Look at that. American Horror Story. Annie Barragani's Horror Story. I don't know. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys a dish that I grew up with. It's a crispy saffron rice dish called Tahchin that gets baked in the oven, and the results are kind of incredible. Okay, so I got nothing right now. I got to get a few pantry items to make this dish, so come along. Hi, cat. All right. Some plain yogurt. Not that yogurt? Okay.
The other, the Stony Hill one. It's right next to the other yogurt.
Oh, yogurt. Stick of butter, a carton of eggs. Hold up, you guys don't get too close. I smuggled this one, all right? Not that there's anything wrong with the rice that Brad gets, but I brought my own rice. First and foremost, the rice. We're going to be using basmati rice, which is a long grain rice. When you're buying basmati rice, look for grains that are kind of fat and long. Make sure it has this kind of yellowish, almost golden beigey hue to it. That's how you know it's been aged properly. I'm going to use 2 cups of rice. And you're going to rinse it until really the water on the bottom is clear. Right now it's super cloudy. So this will just take like maybe about a minute. But you really do want to get rid of the excess starch. You don't want the grains to stick together. You want it to be fluffy. And so right now the water is pretty clear. I'm going to just let this drain on some paper towels. I'm going to check our water. That's up to a boil. I'm going to season the hell out of this water. I'm going to add about half a cup to this, which seems like a lot of salt. It is a lot of salt, but you want the water to be salty like the ocean. It's going to season the rice. I'm going to add the rice. You really want to stir it as soon as you put the rice in, because otherwise the kernels are going to stick to the bottom of the pot, and you don't want that. You're not going to completely cook the rice. You just want to parboil it because it's going to finish cooking in the oven. And that's going to take about 6 to 8 minutes. We're going to make our yogurt mixture. First, we're going to be blooming the saffron. This is the good stuff. You're looking for long, deep red threads or stigmas. This comes from the crocus flower. We're going to add about a teaspoon. Traditionally, you'll see people grind it with rock sugar. I'll just add like a pinch of kosher salt, and that'll work. And pretty quickly, that salt will help it break down into a fine powder. And then you want to add some hot water to this, and that's going to bloom the spice. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons, and then I'm going to let that just cool completely for a few minutes and put that aside. Next, we're going to make the yogurt mixture. This is going to bind the par-cooked rice, the saffron, and everything together. It's kind of like a rice casserole cake of sorts. This is the batter. So you're going to use a cup of plain, whole-fat, not Greek yogurt. Yum. You're going to do half a cup of neutral oil. Sunflower oil is what we're using today. 3 yolks. It'll color the rice. Our rice, let's check our rice. Okay, so the rice is boiling. It is rising to the top. The way you're going to tell is you're going to taste a few kernels, and it shouldn't be soft or mushy. It should still have a bite. Now we're going to drain this. You're going to rinse this with a little bit of water, not hot. And I like to give it a shake to make sure that the kernels are not sticking together. Okay. We're going to add 2 teaspoons of salt. We're going to add the saffron water. This is going to look really awesome or scary, depending on who you are.
Oh boy.
Now we're going to whisk this together to make sure it's all smooth and combined. And you do not want to get this on whatever you're wearing. Just make it naked. We're going to add the rice, and we're going to gently toss this together. I say gently because you don't want the rice to break. You want to keep the kernels in their original state. That looks pretty good. Next, we're going to coat this with oil, just enough oil to coat all sides. You could use a pastry brush if you're that kind of person. 2 tablespoons butter. All right, medium-low heat. I'm going to talk to you about something really important called barberries. They're called zeresh in Farsi. You'll see them in a lot of different dishes in Iranian cuisine. It's a shrub that is super tart. They're dried and you want to kind of rehydrate them, which is what we're going to do. And we're going to sweeten them up a little bit. We're going to take half a cup. I'm going on a road. I'm going to add about a 1/4 cup of raisins. I'm going to give them a little bit of a rough chop just because I feel like it. We'll add them to the pan with the butter. A little bit of a toss. You'll see the barberries, they'll darken slightly. They've plumped up a bit. I'm going to turn off the heat. And then I'm going to add a splash of rose water. We'll put that over here. And I'll add half the rice mixture. Pat that down. We're going to add half of this, and the other half is just going to top the rice once it's finished and all crisped up. The Romanian rice. I mean, I'm going to be honest. It's rice mixed with yogurt, mixed with oil, mixed with egg yolks. It's a bizarre sounding dish, but it is pretty goddamn incredible, like, what it turns into. It really is this kind of savory rice cake. And next, we're going to wrap it up. You're covering it with foil because you don't want the rice to dry out. You want it really tight. And then you're going to place it in the oven. And that's going to go for an hour to an hour and 15 minutes. If you see that it's turning really nice golden brown color within the 55-minute mark, take it out. It's been an hour. Let's check this bad boy. Or bad girl. So, take a look. Look how dark it got. Got that golden sunset hue of sorts. It's really nice. We're gonna let this cool for about 10 minutes. We're gonna remove the foil, and you're gonna see how the crust has formed all around. See, it doesn't stick at all, but just in case, you could take a paring knife or an offset and go around the edges. This is gonna be so good. I hope you guys make it, seriously, because it's not that complicated. Even without the barberries, do whatever kind of dried fruit you like. If you don't have the rose water that I told you, that's fine. If you don't have the saffron, don't make it. So this immediately released, so that's great. And you saw that we didn't put that much oil. See, it kind of looks like a cake, but it's not. We're gonna just scatter, top it with a little bit of the remaining dried fruit. You'll see the barberries over here on the bottom, and at the top. I'm gonna go for it. Oh. There is something so indulgent about it because it's like you have the crispy top and then you have this rich rice with the yogurt and the oil. The barberries are incredible. They give this, I love that kind of tart flavor that it gives the whole dish. Crispy saffron rice. One of the great dishes of Iranian cuisine. And I hope you guys make it.